Hey, what's going on, guys? We'll be shaving with History 101. I mentioned that I was going to be using this in the last video. So History 101 by Summer Break Soaps. I actually scooped out some. This is the container here. You can see around that corner, starting here, going all the way around to about here. Scooped some out and placed it in the bottom of my lathering bowl. So that's what I'll be using today. For the brush, I'll be using my RazoRock 24mm synthetic. It's been soaking in the water. We'll just kind of drip some water out and put that. What's cool about this bowl is it has a little handle there. And what that's meant for is to hold on to a brush, you know, so you can lather and keep the brush there or whatever. So it's pretty convenient. I already have some pre-shave on. You can probably see the white stuff on my face. Proraso. I really don't like using Proraso while using DE blades. I feel like it gunks up the actual razor heads. So I don't really use this for DE shaves any longer. But today I'm using it straight, so we'll be okay using Proraso. I honestly think the Cube is a better overall pre-shave than Proraso because, one, it doesn't clog up my DE heads nearly as much, if any. And the Cube also is more mentholated. If you like less mentholated pre-shaves, then obviously Proraso would be better. But for me, I like that mentholated feel on my face. So the Cube, for me, is better overall. So we went ahead and dripped out most of the water. We're going to go ahead and lather. The scent on this History 101 is Gunsmoke, leather. I definitely get the leather right off the rip. I don't necessarily know if I get Gunsmoke, or I think by Gunsmoke they may mean gunpowder, but anyways, I don't necessarily get that, but I do get a little bit of smoke, and that's also in the scent profile. Smoke, leather, gunpowder, sawdust, dirt. So, you know, it hits. In the description of Summer Break Soaps for History 101, it says that, like, it's just things that reminded the maker or the artisan of history, which I completely agree with. You know, leather and Gunsmoke and obviously smoke for fires and that type of stuff. There is one scent that I really need to get the soap for because it's so unique, at least as far as I'm concerned, from Sterling. And that's Texas on Fire. If you like super, super smoky scents, Texas on Fire, you need to try that. You can get a sample puck from them pretty cheap, like $3. Texas on Fire from Sterling is an awesome scent. Again, you have to kind of like the... I'm going to add a little water to this. We're creating an amazing lather here, by the way. You can see the peaks on this stuff. Very nice. Add a little bit of water. But yeah, so Texas on Fire if you like that stuff. That smoky type of stuff. This isn't as smoky as that. I get more leather in this. I don't get dirt, per se. You know, when I first got it, I thought I did pick up sawdust, the scent of sawdust. Not so much anymore. I can't necessarily say that I pick up that scent profile any longer. But definitely smoke and definitely some leather. All right. An awesome lather, as always, from Summer Break Soaps. And in all honesty, I attribute that largely to my bowl. You know, most of my soaps I could get extremely voluminous lathers, but I like to. Although I have this nice bowl and I like to use it, I really like face lathering. You know, do I get the nice pluminess? No, but for me, I don't know. Face lathering is just more fun. It may not look better on camera, but it feels better when creating the lather on my face. but this is fine too. That scent is awesome. This is a tallow-based soap. And, well, that was a ton of lather that just fell off of this into the sink. It's fine. We have globs in here, so we're good. I probably loaded way too much. I scooped some out, put it in the bottom of the bowl, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, you know, that's probably not going to be enough. It would have been enough. Ooh. Like, I want to say this is a classic scent. But what I mean by classic is not the same thing as like most people say when they say classic, right? Like when you say classic, you're typically thinking of like a Paurasso or, you know, Mitchell's Wolfat, that type of stuff. But when I say classic, as far as this scent goes, it's like an old school, not barbershop scent by any means, but it's like an old school, like you feel like you're walking down a dirt road with some horse carriages going by you. And yeah, I just get that feeling from this when I use this soap. So it's spot on as far as History 101 and his description. Summer Break Soaps is actually a husband and wife team. And while I don't know them personally, I've never spoken to either of them. I honestly, I know the backstory of the company, but I don't know if it's still like this. So they're both teachers, or I think they definitely were both teachers at one point in time. And during the summer, I think for a little extra income, they just started making soap, which at this point has kind of like evolved into what they are now. Do they still teach? I don't know. I don't know any of those details, but it's just a pretty cool concept. You know, Summer Break Soaps, it's pretty cool. And all of their soap names, as far as I know, like History 101, is kind of like all based on academic stuff. So it's just it's pretty neat. That's all. All right, let's go. It's always a little bit more difficult to see on one side. Have you guys been doing? This is a J-Nat edge on this razor. Paul messaged me today. He emailed me and showed me this really cool razor. It's a Gillette. I think it was a Gillette Fat Boy, red tip. And I asked him, he hasn't responded yet, but I think the red, like, with the Gillettes from that time period, I think they all had different, the bottom, this little twist, I think they all had different colors on them, and the color represents the aggressiveness. I thought the red tip, for whatever reason, is the most aggressive. It would make sense, you know, red. But it may not be. I don't know. I think I've seen black before. I don't know if there's a white tip on one of those razors. But I think there's a blue. Anyways, he messaged me and asked if I was interested in it, purchasing it. And he had talked to the eBay seller and got her down to, I think he said $50 or something, which I'm sure is a great price, but I'm just not in the market at this moment for anything. Whether that is soaps or or hardware, to be honest. Too much other stuff to spend money on. Man, this lather's awesome. Let's clean up a little bit there. Yeah, the scent, like, I don't know if Summer Break Soaps does samples. They may, or maybe Maggard's, you know, will have samples. Maggard's has a lot of samples from different artisans that you otherwise can't get from that artisan. I guess Maggard's just will open up a tub and create samples and then sell those samples. So I don't know if you can get samples from Summer Break Soaps, but honestly, if you like the scent profile of this, smoke, gun smoke, leather, dirt, you know, kind of like an earthy, although I'm not getting that personally, but if that sounds good to you, I would definitely try this out, even if you're just trying to sample, like I said. And that's really a cool thing in this community that you could do, the whole sample thing, right? Because some other communities that I've been a part of in the past, knives and fountain pens and that type of thing, there are no samples. Like, you can't get, now the ink for some fountain pens you can, you know, if you want to check out. Like Goulet pens, they will send you some sample inks. I mean, you have to buy them, obviously, but, you know, you can get them. As to where, obviously, the pens themselves, well, you buy it, you know, it's yours. So yeah, the shaving community is pretty cool in the fact that you can get samples of aftershaves and soaps and whatnot without it breaking the bank. You know, you can find out what you like fairly easily. Ooh, very, very nice. Oh yeah. The J-Net I use to hone this, or not to hone it, but to finish it on. I'm actually borrowing it from someone. So I have it on. I have that edge or that stone edge on this razor, my Gold Dollar 208, on my acrylic Gold Dollar, the red scale. You saw that a couple videos ago, but I just recently put the new edge on it. And in my Naked Armor razor that I have down here, I'll show it to you real quick. The edge is on that one as well. And I'm just testing it with different things, basically. This is the Naked Armor. So that JNet stone that I borrowed is that's the edge on all of those. And I'm really digging it. Oh yeah, the lather that this has created is unfortunately too much, more than I can use, but if I were to scoop that much out every single time and create a lather, this soap would last me, if I don't eat it, it would definitely last several months. It's $16 for 4 ounces. I think that's for all of their soaps. And like I mentioned, this is a tallow-based soap. There are so many soaps in this hobby. It's unbelievable. So many manufacturers or artisans. It will be extremely difficult to try them all because, well, I guess you could try every base, right? You could, I mean, I don't know, there may be 200 to 300 artisans, soap artisans, and we're not talking about just the big guys. We're talking about also like some of the cheaper and like the lower end stuff, Colonel Conk and that type of stuff that a lot of people don't actually even test because it's so cheap. But yeah, we're talking about all that, probably, I don't know, 200 to 300 total. And I'm sure you could try all those, you know, depending on how often you shave over a year or two. But for me, at this point, I think I'm good with what I have. And you guys hear me say that very often. It's like, I'm done buying soaps, I'm done buying soaps. And then like a couple videos later, you'll see me with a new soap. But with the baby, it's like, it's a little different for me. Oh, by the way, if you're using a straight razor and you're going against the grain, like I'm going against the grain here, and it catches, do not force it through. Do not force it through. Come back down and start over. You know, get a nice clean, cut as opposed to like forcing the edge through. Because you can seriously damage your skin. If you're forcing the edge through your skin. That's why you'll see a lot of guys do what I'm doing right now, kind of like stutter stepping. Like I'm here and I'm kind of going over it a couple times just to make sure that it's not grabbing my skin and pulling, which leads to definite cuts. That's not something you want. I was gonna try 2 pass shave today, but we did 3. I'm not upset about it. Take my little rag and wipe it off. I have been forgetting after shaves and after I'm done with my my edges to wipe them off, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. That is not something you want to have sitting on your razor. Like, I'll clean everything else, and then for whatever reason, my straight razor just kind of sits there. So I've had to buff a couple of straights out. All right, so this is what we have left as far as the lather goes, and it was a great lather, and you could definitely get another pass, maybe 2 out of that. All right, let me rinse. Cold water rinse. Did we cut ourselves? Yeah. Well, this right here, that was from my previous shave. So I really don't blame the straight for that. Cool. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and shake it up. History 101 aftershave. Nope, you do not have to shake up aftershaves. Love that scent. Much stronger in the aftershave, obviously, than the soap. And it's incredible. My wife actually likes this as well. I don't think she liked it at first, but she's grown to like it. Like I said in the last video, I've only used this soap, the History 101 soap. This is my 3rd use, I believe. It's not any more than 4, but I think this is my 3rd. And getting another shot. But the aftershave, I've been going through the aftershave. I just love smelling the scent. You know? Even when I'm not shaving, right before I'm going to work, I'll just take some aftershave, put it in my hand, put it on. Whew. All right. That's the shave, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you next shave.